Yo, what is up guys and welcome to another Wild Rift video. Today I'm giving you all a new updated tier list for patch 6.0e. I haven't made a tier list for like 4 or 5 weeks, and since the last tier list, don't skip all of this by the way because you really need to listen to what I'm saying. I started playing Legendary Queue and I got really good at Legendary Queue. You know, I'm playing like top 100 games of EU, so I'm only really playing against like the best of the best players in the European server right now. And I learned a lot. If you are gonna compare this tier list to my old one, it's like 180 degrees. You know, Wukong broken tier, Mordekaiser, like what? You know what I mean? Like, what are these champions doing in a broken tier? My older tier list would have completely different champions, like Renekton or you know, whatever. Like Gragas would be very broken. But my mind has been changed by Legendary Queue, and I really want you to know as well, if you are in lower elos, this tier list is actually not gonna reflect what's gonna be the best thing for you. I mean, the top picks are still gonna be really good, but in low elo, for example, Garen is a lot stronger. Like Garen is broken tier in low elo, but because I am playing against, you know, the best of the best players, a very simple champion like Garen is just unfortunately not gonna be good. There's a lot of champions that are just gonna counter you, that are gonna abuse the hell out of you, they're gonna build items to counter you, and that is what all of these tier lists are all going to be about. So there's timestamps in the description for each respective role. Also, real quick, give me a minute to talk about this. We have a special deal at the Player First Fitness program again. 7 days for free. We have a lot of time on our hands, so we want to help you guys for free for 7 days. We've already helped multiple people. If you haven't seen already, this is my transformation. You know, I looked like very skinny, very bad. I hate to say it, but I really don't like looking at... Oh, I cannot move my picture. I really don't like looking at this picture of myself, and it's a bit... I'm even a bit ashamed to show you this, but this is what I was able to achieve. And I'm actually even bulkier than this now, and did it all with a proper diet, proper workout plan, proper supplementing plan, proper health plan, everything plan. And we're gonna write you a plan like that as well. And don't worry, we've done this for multiple people already. You know, you can see picture after picture after picture from people that have gotten before and afters, you know, 40 pounds down, 10 inches off the waist. Incredible, incredible transformations that we have from multiple clients of ours. Clients getting a lot stronger as well. Here's another one. Here's another one. You know, you can be next, whether it's losing weight, gaining weight, anything like that. Just click on the link in the description. It's going to bring you to this exact page. Fill in your information, and then you're going to sign up for a 7-day free trial. If you want to continue with us, you're going to let us know. You know, I'm going to continue with you guys. If you want to stop, you can unsubscribe yourself. Or if you don't know how to do it, just let us know. We'll unsubscribe for you. You have nothing to lose. You know, if you have goals in your mind, fitness-related goals, health-related goals, whatever your age may be, this is it. Like, I can assure you, you probably think you know a lot about how to eat healthy, how to do, you know, well in the gym, and you think you look okay or whatever. No. I assure you, if you have an expert helping you, which, you know, we are going to be the experts helping you, specifically Tarek Langley, actually, you know, he's working with, I'm a coach as well, but he's the head coach. You're going to be working under him. Yeah, it's going to help a lot. He has over 10 years of experience doing this stuff, coaching hundreds of people. Very, very happy to be working with him. So if you want, you know, free coaching for 7 days, and then after that you can decide, sign up, link in the description. So let's talk about the tier list. Top lane first. And in the top lane, I noticed Wukong is just so strong. I noticed Wukong provides the most value out of any top laner. Top lane is so difficult to play in Legendary rank because all the top laners are so good in Legendary rank. It's just annoying. So Wukong is easily the best. He will win most lanes. He provides massive value in teamfights with his ultimate. He can push lanes very quickly. He pushes turrets very quickly. He doesn't really have a weakness. You can go full damage Wukong, you can go tank Wukong, you can go bruiser Wukong, all of it is good. So like basically first pick Wukong and, you know, play him however fits the game, and it's always going to be good. Next up we got Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser got nerfed, by the way, but somehow, some way, this champion is just so broken. He'll win any 1v1, he'll outpoke everyone. It's just silly to me how strong he really is. Even at Darius, like Darius wins 1v1 so easily. It is so difficult to beat Mordekaiser. You buy magic resist, he's just gonna get a Rift Maker and heal and do true damage anyway. So Mordekaiser is just so strong. And this is my opinion, but Camille, one of the best top laners in the game. I uploaded a Camille video recently on the HellsDevil Plus channel. If you don't know about the HellsDevil Plus channel, you're sleeping under a rock. Look up HellsDevil Plus. You can see live gameplay for me playing the game in Legendary rank. I played Camille. Just this champ. I want to say though, one of the most difficult champions in the game. However, if you know how to play her, broken. Gnar got nerfed, and I am feeling this nerf. Gnar used to be broken tier, but now he's sitting on top of the S+ tier. He's good, but he's not like broken or anything. But he's really good. Still really, really good. Mega Gnar especially, very, very good. The only thing that changed now is that Gnar cannot bully the enemy as much anymore when he's ranged Gnar. Mega Gnar is still the exact same. Ornn, disgustingly strong, you know, the best tank in the game. He'll win lane against most bruisers early game. Until the bruisers buy Divine Sunderer, Ornn is going to win. And even after Divine Sunderer, Ornn can build a Bramble fast, and he's still going to be able to do well. So like, it's very frustrating to play against Ornn. Because also Ornn can stack his Heartsteel really, really efficiently. He can slow you down with his first ability, so you really cannot avoid the Heartsteel stacks. Next up is Darius, one of the best champions in the top lane as well. He's very, very strong, hold his ground in 1v1 situations, even in potential 1v2 situations. And then if you get a bit ahead, you're going to provide massive value in team fights. You know, you just need to get a little bit of movement speed, either using Ghost or Glorious Enchant, or like having a support that gives you speed. Finish off someone with your ultimate and just clean up the whole fight. You're very tanky, so it's just a very, very strong top laner. Baron laner, I should say. Jax, very, very good as well. Very versatile. You can build multiple items. You know, you can go for full AD. You can go for Divine Sunderer. You can go for Riftmaker. You can go for semi-AP. You can go Zeke's Convergence against long-range squishies. You can go everything. The only sad thing is that Hullbreaker is not in the game anymore. So, you know, Split Push Jax is still very, very good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, you can build whatever you want. Like, he has builds against every situation. So this can also be a first pick. Rumble, incredibly powerful, especially legendary Q. And for me, the main reason he's so powerful is because he has so much magic damage with his ult and his first ability. And the shielding, the constant shielding. He has no mana, he just overheats. But he just shields every 3 seconds or so. It's disgusting how many shields he has. So like when you're trying to fight him, when you try to finish him off with an ignite, you're just not going to finish him off. He's going to shield it off. Like you actually will never finish him off. It's really crazy how many shields he has. And then on top of all of that, he has his third ability as well to slow you down. Set. Set is so silly. I almost put him in the broken tier, but I realized there are counters to him. Like especially in patch 6.0e, when Nasus got buffed, you know, Nasus is a counter to Set. It's just, there's more counters to Set now than there were before. But like if you pick Set in the right game, you will bully the enemy top laner and you're just going to run down the enemy. You're going to absolutely run them down. You're going to get so tanky with your Heartsteel. Grasp of the Undying obviously gives a lot of HP right now too. You're just going to run down the enemy. Next up is the most interesting one in my opinion. Nasus was already pretty good. However, for me personally, it was a very specific niche pick. I would only really pick it against Heimerdinger. Because you guys know the story, you've probably seen the video, you can stack on Heimerdinger turrets. But now, Nasus' first ability cooldown got reduced by 0.5 seconds. You may think that's not a lot. But considering Nasus wants to use his first ability every 2 seconds, 0.5 seconds is a hell of a lot cooldown. And I'm noticing it in the game. I'm getting so many more stacks. It is so much easier to stack in the lane. You know what this buff did to Nasus? Let me tell you exactly what this buff did so you understand how big of a buff this really is. So before, I would go Ionian Boots of Lucidity on Nasus to be able to have adequate cooldown to stack my first ability. Now, with this change, you are basically passively getting the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. So you're essentially starting off with the Ionian Boots of Lucidity and you're going to have them permanently. Of course, not with the movement speed, but with the passive, the cooldown reduction that it gives, which is massive, the cooldown reduction. So this allows you to go for armor boots. So essentially this new Nasus is the same as the old Nasus, but you get armor boots for free. And for all the people that understand how strong boots are in Wild Rift, you will know how broken this is. You're going to be so much more tanky, so much tankier now, while still benefiting from the cooldown reduction that you used to get from the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Let's make a goal for this video. If we reach 1,000 likes, I will make another Nasus video. I know I made a Nasus video like a week ago, but he got buffed again. So if you guys really want to see it again, 1,000 likes on this video and I will just make another Nasus video. Also remember, I'm doing a skin giveaway. Put down a comment under this video to enter the skin giveaway. Giving away 3 skins this month. Aatrox is good. I'm not going to talk too long about the rest. I'm just going to talk about some of the picks. Aatrox is good, but very difficult champion. I never pick Aatrox in Legendary Queue because I'm not proficient enough on him. He's very difficult and you really have to be very good at Aatrox, know how to reset your basic attack animation with your third ability properly, be able to hit your first ability effectively. He's difficult. Next difficult champion that is very good right now is Fiora. Fiora is one of the only champions that can reliably beat a Camille, even when she's behind in a fight. She can also beat a Darius. She can also beat a Mordekaiser. So she actually beats everyone. She can actually beat everyone. The only, of course, difference is that Fiora is not as tanky as the rest, right? But the thing about Fiora is if you know how to play her well, you know how to apply pressure on side lanes and whatnot, and you know how to win lane, she's going to be a menace to deal with. Very annoying. Of course, you can build multiple different items as well. Mana Mune works if the enemy has a lot of long-range champions with dashes. Of course, you can just go full bruiser. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Fiora. I'm a good Fiora player myself as well, so I highly suggest you to check out some of my Fiora videos if you want to pick her up. Gwen is good against tanks, and only against tanks. You don't want to pick her against bruisers. So if the enemy picks Ornn or something like that, pick Gwen. If the enemy picks Nasus, never pick Gwen. Nasus will run down Gwen. Shen is very good, just because you can ult your teammates. That's really the only reason. Yone got buffed, but I realized Yone is really not that good. He's okay. Like S tier means better than average. You should be able to have like a above 50% win rate with him, but he's just good, nothing special. Riven, only the skilled Riven player is going to be able to make her work in top lane. But she actually struggles against a lot of these top laners. Wukong will beat her, Mordekaiser will beat her, you know, Darius is going to do good against her. Only at level 1 does she beat everyone. But once we reach level 2, level 3, level 4, she's already going to start falling off in these 1v1 situations. So like Riven, you have to make a play at level 1, shove the wave, get level 2, invade the enemy jungle. After that, you're just an average top laner. Gragas is okay. I don't suggest picking him much. You know, Maokai is good. Renekton is weaker than you would think. He's just weaker than you would think. He doesn't beat those Heartsteel champions, you know. He just doesn't. Sion is okay. But I noticed that in Legendary Queue, especially, you know, when you're in a very high elo match, you kind of want someone that team fights as well. You know, Camille can use her ultimate in a teamfight, provide massive value. Gnar can engage, uses ultimate. If you actually look at all of the top champions, most of them are champions that have incredibly powerful teamfighting capabilities. Obviously, Wukong with his ult, Mordekaiser with his ult, Camille with her ult, Gnar with his ult, Ornn with his ult and the tankiness that he has, and then Darius just being Darius, right? Jax is the only one that is not that good at teamfighting that is in the S+ tier, but you're getting my point. Most of the Baron laners have to be very good at teamfighting. Fiora is also an exception, but she's so strong that she's still in the S+ tier. But then if we look at Sion, for example, he's not good at teamfighting, right? He's just like a walking meat sack. He wants to split push constantly. And only when he gets a ton of HP is he going to be annoying in teamfights, which is going to be very difficult to do in Legendary Queue. The new release Poppy is okay, but now people are figuring out how to play against her. Just don't dash around her and you're going to be okay. So Poppy is okay, definitely. Close to S tier, I would say, but I would just rate her average. Everything in the A tier is average. A stands for average. Okay. Kill is... The thing about Kill is, it's okay, but it's so slow. Kill is very good in teamfights in the late game, but like, imagine being against a Wukong. Wukong rotates during objectives, rotates during jungle invades, rotates during mid-game skirmishes. You only get strong late game, but like by that time, the game is already going to be over against a good top laner. So like, I don't really suggest Kill, unless you play in lower ranks, then you can easily pull him off. Anything else here is like, meh, you know. Malphite sucks now. I don't really like Malphite at all. There's just too much magic damage in the game, too much true damage that's good right now. I don't like him at all. So we're gonna move on to the jungle list right now. And here we have more broken picks. Let me see. Yeah, so we had 2 broken picks here. Wukong shows up again. Not gonna talk about him again, you know, same story. He has a fast, well actually there's additional stuff because this is talking about jungle. He has a fast jungle clear, very good ganking, massive team fighting, good objective securing with his first ability, and he's just overall giga strong. Another champion is Amumu. Even in legendary queue, Amumu is the most obnoxious champion like in the jungle. His ultimate hurts so much, and then not only that, he's so tanky. He burns enemy tanks as well, because you always build Searing Crown on him, which will burn 1.6% of their HP. It's every second, by the way, which is a lot of damage. You know, when a fight is lasting like 20 seconds, you're burning dozens of percent of their HP passively, just by being around them. And then obviously as well, the 10% bonus true damage that you and your teammates will do when you ult the enemy. All of them are going to take this additional true damage. So you're just such a strong supporting and everything jungler. He has a fast jungle clear, very fast Baron, everything. Like he's the fastest Baron taker in the game, not by himself, but with a team, because he allows everyone to do true damage. You know, obviously Rengar is actually faster by himself, but he's so strong. I don't suggest you to play full AP. I suggest you to go tank with him, and you're just gonna win so many games. Vi, this may be a controversial opinion, but in my opinion, Vi is broken tier. Every time I pick Vi, it's just disgusting. Last time I played Vi, I got a pentakill. That video is on the HellsDevil Plus channel. Just look up HellsDevil Plus Vi. You're gonna see that video, and you should see that video. Next up is Hecarim. I don't really play a lot of Hecarim, but in Legendary queue, pretty much pick or ban. Well, not quite, you know, because Amumu Wukong is available, but it gets picked so often, and it is so difficult to play against it. You know, even with counter picks, he just dives balls deep all the way in the backline, and he's just gonna destroy your backline. You can't really do anything about it. Another one that does the same thing is Riven. I would say though, Riven is so high skill that it's only gonna work with like the super high skilled Riven. So I didn't put her broken tier. I only put her S+ tier, even though she could be broken tier. The only weakness she has is she doesn't skill that well into the late game. Next up is Rammus, similar to Amumu but a little bit weaker. And the main reason is because of his ultimate. Rammus just has a weaker ultimate really. Besides that, he's very similar to Amumu. You know, he hurts enemies a lot. He can apply anti-heal to everyone. Thornmail is disgusting on him. He burns enemies too. His ganking is really good. He's very fast, you know, with his first ability. Constant harassing with the ganks. Pick him against heavy AD comps and you're gonna get free wins. Jax jungle. This is a hidden broken pick. I'm probably gonna make a video about this. You can go for mixed AP Jax. That is gonna be the best build actually. You go Trinity Force and then you mix it up with Riftmaker, Cosmic Drive, and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably make a video about that very soon. Master Yi, even in high elo, very powerful, but I only suggest you to pick it with a support that goes Ardent Sensor, because otherwise it's a little bit difficult to play him. Graves, the buffed Graves, has a really fast jungle clear now, and he feels very powerful in the jungle. I like playing. Ow. I hit my arm on my elbow on the table. What was I saying? Yeah, so Graves is very powerful, and in the late game he hurts so much. He'll one-shot the squishies, and even against the bruisers, he will be able to hurt them a lot. And especially in the late game, if you stack up his third ability like a couple of times, you're gonna be very tanky. And champions like Wukong even, they're not gonna beat you. Even though Wukong is like a super broken champion, they're not gonna beat you in a fight. Like, not at all. So that's the good thing about Graves. The only weakness of Graves is he has like 0 CC, but so does Master Yi. But like they compensate with power in combat, right? Like if they don't have CC, they're gonna compensate with combat. Now a champion that does have CC is Camille, you know, slows, stuns, even that big ultimate. Camille jungle is a little bit slow. In the early game it's a bit weak, which sucks. But once you get to the mid game, late game, you know, her ganks are brilliant. It's very powerful with that ultimate. She can secure objectives really well with her second ability. And of course, late game, she just becomes a carrier herself. And Bessa, same story as Riven, but just a little bit weaker. Only in the highly skilled hands is Ambessa gonna be good, and she's gonna be really good. But only in the skilled hands, in the very skilled hands. Kayn, we're talking about Red Kayn. Never ever play Blue Kayn. Blue Kayn is terrible right now. Red Kayn on the other hand, very powerful. Especially against, you know, the champions like the Rammus and whatever. If you're against a lot of tanks, even bruisers, Red Kayn, just run them down. Warwick jungle, similar to Rammus. He can run around super quickly, gank. He's not as tanky as Rammus. He's a bit of a mix of like an assassin and a bit of a bruiser type of champion. He can ult and just one-shot backline champions. I love picking him against something like an Ezreal or an Orianna. You know, these long-range backline champions that think they're safe from everything. You as a Warwick are just gonna dive their ass with your ultimate. Zed jungle got nerfed, went down from the S+ tier to the S tier. Still very, very strong. They didn't touch his cooldowns or anything, they just touched his damage a little bit. He's still very much an incredibly powerful jungler. Shyvana jungle, very, very powerful as well. Actually, she's not that strong. What am I saying? She's like... She should be here. I think I forgot to move her. She's not that strong. Shyvana jungle is okay. You know, with her ultimate, quite strong. Yeah, nothing interesting to say about her. Lee Sin, very good. You know, strong early game. Also needs a highly skilled player. If you're not skilled, don't pick Lee Sin. You really have to be better than the enemy micro-wise to make this work, but then you're gonna giga carry the game. You're gonna be so strong, you're gonna get all of your teammates ahead, and he pretty much secures every objective. He can steal objectives very easily as well. So Lee Sin is just a solid pick. Viego, I noticed Viego is very powerful as well, with his third ability being invisible, and in teamfights being very, very powerful. Even in high elo, very solid pick. Nyla jungle, I never thought I would talk about Nyla jungle in a positive manner, but she's actually strong. The only problem is convincing your team that you're gonna carry the game. Really. It's the same thing as playing kill. You just have to convince your team that you are in fact gonna carry the game, but you can't gank them. They're gonna get ganked by the enemy jungler. Hopefully they don't get too tilted. That's really the only problem with Nyla jungle. Xin Zhao has fallen off a little bit. I almost always used to put him in the S+ tier, but he actually went down to the middle of the S tier, not even top S tier. And I don't know, he just doesn't feel as strong anymore. I'm noticing that a lot of picks that are being picked in legendary rank in the high elos are close range champions that will get within your proximity. Of course, you don't want that as Xin Zhao. You don't want enemies to be within your proximity. You know, when you use your ultimate, you don't want anyone to get close. But like a Riven is just going to jump on your ass and kill you anyways. Nyla is going to engage. Graves is going to engage. Master Yi, you know, Vi. All of these champions are just going to engage all of the top laners, even mid lane. You know, Kha'Zix being a very strong champion. He doesn't care about Xin Zhao's ultimate. He's going to jump in anyways. Next there is Jarvan. Jarvan jungle is like a very good supporting jungler. Just a supporting jungler, really. Not much to say about him. I don't really like playing him much. I much prefer the carry type of junglers, but the best supporting jungler, you know, besides Amumu, obviously. Amumu is the best, but best of the best. And then Rammus. We have Jarvan as well that's available. Kindred is good if your team has a lot of tanks and you just need raw damage output. If your team is just missing raw damage, pick Kindred in the jungle. I suggest you to pick Kindred if you have a stronger lane matchup team. So like, don't pick Kindred if your mid laner picked Kill, for example, right? Like, because that mid laner is never going to rotate, never help you with stacks. You're never going to get any stacks like that. So you have to look at your team. Do you have champions that can get priority in lane? Then you pick Kindred. Echo got nerfed to the point where he's not broken anymore. He's just okay. You know, S tier, I don't have much to say about him. He doesn't really get picked that often in legendary rank. He's just okay. Diana jungle, okay as well. Actually, really not that okay. She's like this, okay. Kill jungle, niche pick. But works very, very well if you know what to do. You just have to avoid fighting. Now in high elos, you are gonna get invaded pretty much every time. If you can just avoid these invades a little bit, like go to the other part of your jungle, try to farm that part, just get to level 5 and you're gonna be okay. At level 5, you know, you can farm a bit better, you can actually fight, and then late game, you're just gonna win the game. Now, of course, you know, there's gonna be games that are not gonna get to the late game, but that's the risk you're taking when you play kill jungle. You are unable to gank your teammates as well, which is gonna be a massive difference as well, especially if the enemy picks a Riven or something and gets like 10 kills before you're even level 9. Of course, you haven't provided enough value as a kill to be able to justify your pick then. So be careful of that. Nasus jungle, playable now. It is playable. The cooldown of his first ability is low. His ganks are actually, hey, decent. You're not going to be able to stack as much in the jungle as you would in the Baron lane, but it is definitely playable. You can at least farm your jungle really well because his first ability cooldown is pretty low right now. You're going to have to ult in your jungle probably a few times just to get, you know, your jungle fast. So I only suggest should suggest Nasus jungle for the veteran Nasus players. AP Nautilus is okay. Morgana jungle is okay. Nunu jungle is okay. Anything interesting to talk about? Talon is also okay. So stuff that you want to avoid, and I've tried it all. Let me show you. Let me pick up my camera. Evelyn, avoid Evelyn. She's not good. Fizz jungle, avoid Fizz. He's not good. Fiddlesticks, you know, these mage assassin junglers unfortunately are just terrible. They're really, really bad. That is not gonna work. Twitch got buffed. Never even touch him. The buff is useless. Don't play Twitch. Next up we have mid lane. And here it gets interesting. By the way, the top lane and the jungle have the most champions in them. So those are going to be the longest. All of the other lists are going to be a bit shorter. So Orianna, you can pretty much always pick her. And there's two builds I go for on Orianna. Number one is the full burst build with, what is that rune called? First Strike. You go First Strike, Luden's Echo. I need to make a video about this. First Strike, Luden's Echo, Infinity Orb, Rabadon's Deathcap, and then whatever. This build is going to one-shot the enemy. And then the next build that I have is the sustained damage build, which is going to be Luden's Echo, Seraph's Embrace, and then you're going to go Rabadon, and then Infinity Orb. So the first build, of course, against squishy champions. The second build against tanks. I should make a video about this. I just realized, and I am going to make a video because this is the most broken mid laner in the game right now. You will always have lane priority. No one can outshove your wave. Of course, you are weak early game, but at least you can shove waves. So the enemy will never be able to shove the wave, force you under the turret, and then just, you know, out-rotate you. Next up is Khazad. I noticed that Khazad in mid lane is pretty much the strongest carry in the game. Even in this sort of a bruiser meta in high elo, he's still incredibly powerful. He actually still does a ton of damage against the bruisers as well. Today actually, I was playing Nasus. You would think that Nasus just destroys Khazad, and yeah, he does beat Khazad, but like, I was just unable to catch him. He kept ulting away, he kept silencing me, he kept annoying me, and he was actually able to do damage to me even though I had a lot of magic resist. Victor is another champion that can just carry games like crazy. It's a very, very powerful champion. You just gotta get through the early game, which is really not that difficult. Just farm and use your first ability to trade with the enemy. Get fleet footwork and you're just gonna win lanes so easily. Victor is just so powerful. What can I say? Like, your team has to be so bad that you cannot do anything with Victor. But if you just have a normal functioning team, you are going to be able to carry most games with Victor. Similar story with Syndra. She's very, very powerful. Doesn't have as much AoE damage as Victor, but definitely does justify her power with the single target damage. Her ultimate does massive damage, and her CC is also better than Victor. But of course the AoE damage is not there. But she's very strong. S+ tier, easily. Yasuo only in the highly skilled hands would Yasuo be incredibly strong. Now, especially with Wukong in your team. And this is the main reason I put him here. If your teammate picked Wukong, just pick Yasuo. If you are a good Yasuo, you're going to win the game for free. Like, you're simply going to win the game. Next up, we got Zed. Very powerful mid laner. Has a little bit less poking now than before due to the nerfs. But still, mid lane Zed, extremely, extremely powerful. Morgana mid, I noticed, is a very, very good pick. She just does well against everything. She has good wave pushing, and the Black Shield allows her to not get ganked, because you can't get stunned or anything when you have a Black Shield. And in the late game, she's a menace. The pools of death that she puts down hurt so much. Her ultimate is super powerful, you know, one of the best CCs of the game, forms of CC of the game. And then, of course, that first ability, 2.75 second root. 2.75 is like 1, 2, 7, 5. You know, it's a long route. You can count. You're gonna get an AFK warning when you play against her, because after the route, of course, the stun is coming as well. So you're gonna get stunned for like 5 seconds by Morgana. Vladimir is very good as well to carry games. Takes a really long time to scale up, but once he does, he's gonna destroy the enemy. It's very, very difficult to deal with a fed Vladimir. Veigar mid lane. I love playing Veigar. Whether you want to farm, whether you want to gank, he's always going to be good. Just get your stacks up and carry the game. Get your stacks up, buy a Rabadon's Deathcap, and you're going to 1v9 the game. Corki mid. Corki is not designed to play mid lane anymore, but the champion is so broken that he's still in the S+ tier in the mid lane. Crazy, right? The true damage, just the overall damage he has is super stupid. Next up we got Lissandra. Lissandra is one of the champions I don't actually see that often in legendary rank, but coincidentally I did see one today. But Lissandra is very powerful. Don't get her wrong. Like, if you have a good Lissandra, very, very strong, especially because she can put herself into stasis. But the beauty of Lissandra is she's one of the best champions to gank. If you gank if you have a Lissandra in your team and you gank that lane, she can root the enemy and she can stun them with her ultimate and do a ton of damage to them. It's like basically like Annie, but Lissandra has additional stuff. She has so much CC, so much, how do you say it, defensive capabilities as well, because she can dash away with her third ability and she can put herself into stasis. It's really powerful. Galio mid lane, you should pretty much exclusively pick Galio mid lane against mage assassins and you're going to win the game for free. So like against Khazadin, you're just going to win that lane for free. Galio will destroy him. Khazadin has no chance whatsoever. But even besides that, you can pick him into anything really. But just be careful. You are going to get bullied by like a Corki or an Orianna or even a Veigar. Kai'Sa mid lane. Kai'Sa doesn't belong in the mid lane, but the champion is so broken. Same story as Corki, that she will work in mid lane. And now comes my secret pick in the mid lane, which is kill mid lane. Pick kill mid lane exclusively against mage assassins. Even normal assassins really. He counters all the assassins, so like Zed mid lane, Khazadin, which is a highly picked champion. Pick kill into Akali, Katarina, Diana, that kind of stuff. But be careful, don't pick kill into anything else. So I only suggest you to pick kill if you know who the enemy mid laner is. So if they pick Khazadin, you know Khazadin is the mid laner, pick kill into that, you're gonna be okay in mid lane. You are gonna be okay. Yone mid lane with the buff is strong, but then again, nothing broken. I thought Yone would be broken with the buff, but it's really not that much. He's just okay. Zoe mid lane, surprisingly strong. She doesn't get picked that often, but oftentimes I notice Zoe players are very good at the champion. She's just strong. She will destroy squishies. Twisted Fate is weaker than I thought as well. He's really not that useful, especially in higher elos. People will just anticipate his ganks and yeah, he just doesn't, he feels a bit lackluster. What can I say? He doesn't do that much damage or whatever. Jace mid lane can be very oppressive, but again, like I just don't really think, he's not that strong. He's really not that strong. Ahri, not really meta. Echo mid lane, meh. Echo is definitely better than Ahri, and Echo is actually definitely better than these guys though. Actually also better than him. I did Echo a bit dirty right here. He is a lot better than them. Akali is okay, if you have a good Akali player, but just nothing special. And then besides that, Aurelion Sol is also placed wrongly. He should be on top of the A tier. He's okay, but A tier, again, average tier. These champions are all just average. And then down here, Hecarim, the only reason I put Hecarim in B tier is because I'm just waiting for people to figure out the Nasus life hack. The moment you see Hecarim, just pick Nasus and win the game. That's why I'm putting him B tier. Without the Nasus life hack, Hecarim would be probably top of the A tier, but as I said, I'm just waiting for the Nasus life hack for people to figure it out, especially now that Nasus is buffed. I'm telling you, you see a Hecarim in the enemy, think about me and pick Nasus. Now that video of mine is going semi-viral, it's getting like thousands of views every single day, so probably more people are gonna start doing it because they're seeing that video, and obviously in that video I talk about it a lot. Yeah, don't pick all of this stuff. Katarina sucks right now. Diana is just terrible. Teemo, Seraphine, Fizz is so bad. I played Fizz today. I got destroyed in Legendary Queue. By Piku, by the way. Funny. He was actually against me. Here comes the ADC role. And yeah, the ADC role is very, very powerful. Not that many champions, so it's going to be a quick one. But in the broken tier, this was easy for me. Corki, Corki is just so broken right now. I'm surprised I haven't even made a Corki video yet. I should make one. Varus, very versatile, super long range, shreds tanks as well as squishies. Very powerful. And then Kai'Sa, AP Kai'Sa, AD Kai'Sa as well. You can go Manamune into crit too. You can always pick Kai'Sa. Very, very powerful. Like these three champions, disgusting. They should be pretty much pick or ban. If you just want to win the game, if this is like, if you're playing the game just to win, every game you're gonna pick these three champions with the occasional Ezreal and Vayne and Sivir. Like these 6 champions really should be the only ADCs you are playing, especially these 3. So talking about Ezreal, the buff made him so strong, like so strong. If you're against low mobility enemies, not fast, not that many dashes, Ezreal is going to be the best pick. Now, of course, a lot of enemies do have dashes and everything, so that's why these champions are actually better than him in the current meta. Vayne is also really, really good. Kills the tanks off. But the problem of Vayne is she has single target damage, but she's extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Get to the late game, destroy the enemy. I made a Vayne video on the HellsDevil Plus channel as well. I actually made a video on all of these champions. Sivir video was not recent though. I need to make a new Sivir video. Xayah is okay. She's actually quite strong, almost S plus tier, but I wouldn't say quite S plus tier. She's just okay. Zeri is also really good. There's a lot of shielding in the game right now. You know, Set being very strong, Karma, Janna, all of those champions makes Zeri automatically better. You guys remember when I said Zeri looks like Michael Jackson? Like, let's be real here. Doesn't Zeri... Oh, I'm gonna show you guys again for the people that disagree. Look at Zeri and tell me she doesn't look like Michael Jackson. Look her in their eyes. Look at her nose. Look at her mouth. Look at her hair. And tell me she doesn't look like Michael Jackson. Just tell me. Tell me in the comments. Of course she does. Like, let's be real. She's like a faced copy of Michael Jackson. I feel like there's a reference here even. Like, what the hell? Why does she copy Michael Jackson? Why does she look like Michael Jackson? Lucian is very good. But I noticed if you miss one dash, it can be a death for you as a Lucian. He doesn't do as much damage as the top ADCs. But he's just good. Jhin is very good as well. But Jhin is a bit reliant on the support. If you have a terrible support, you're gonna struggle as a Jhin. You don't really have any tools to survive as a Jhin, except for your movement speed, but like that's not, you know, you have to actually hit the enemy to get the movement speed, so you have to get close to get it. Unlike the other ADCs that are just generally a lot stronger, or they have tools to escape. Like Ezreal can escape, Vayne can escape, Sivir can escape, Kai'Sa can escape, Corki can escape. Varus cannot escape, but he has his ultimate to stop the enemy, right? So even he has stuff. Misfortune is okay. Senna, you know, Senna as a carry is also really, really good. I'm talking about fasting Senna here, by the way, because we'll talk about Senna support after. Fasting Senna is okay. Ashe, I noticed Ashe just kind of sucks. The only good thing about Ashe is her ultimate. Tristana, you know, in Legendary Q, terrible. Caitlyn, terrible. Twitch, terrible. Jinx, terrible. Draven, terrible. Samira, terrible. Nyla, terrible. Kalista, don't even think about it. They're not even playable in like high elos. They really aren't. The only way you could play Samira is in duo queue, by the way. Caitlyn, only way she's playable with Milio. Jinx, only way she's playable with Lulu. Talking about the supports, here they are. I'm not gonna talk about these three. I'm actually just not gonna talk about Yuumi. I'm not gonna talk about Lulu. I'm not gonna talk about Milio. For all the people that are new to this channel, these champions are so broken they don't even need to be talked about. Pick or ban every game. These three champions, all of them, all three of them. You pick them or you ban them. If you are on the blue side, don't ban them, first pick them. If you are on the purple side, ban all three of them. If your teammates don't, you ping them, you tell them, ban them. Because if they don't, you're just gonna, you know, you're essentially increasing your chances by like 5 to 10% to lose the game just by giving these champions, especially Yuumi. If you give Yuumi, you pretty much increase the chances of losing the game by like 15%. Lulu as well, like 15%, and then Milio would be like 10%. And I noticed recently that Janna is almost equally broken as them. And the beauty of Janna is people don't know about it. Everyone knows how broken Yuumi is. Everyone knows how broken Lulu is, but no one knows how broken Janna is. Except for you Janna players out there. Go for redemption. I made a Janna video on my HellsDevil Plus channel recently as well. Highly suggest you to check it out. A lot of people actually forget, but I am a support main. I used to be a competitive support player in mobile MOBAs. And support is my favorite role. The only reason I don't play support is because, or I don't just play support every game, is because it doesn't work with views. Unless you play like broken support, which is not the ideal way, it's just the most fun way. But as a support main, I'm telling you, Janna is broken. You guys remember when I told you Sona was broken? Yes, she was broken back then. And now Janna is very, very similar power to Sona. I would say the old Sona was stronger than the current Janna though. Nautilus is surprisingly strong. In my opinion, the strongest tank in the support role right now. He's so annoying to play against. Very tanky with his shielding. His hooks are so good. His ultimate is the most annoying thing ever. Next up we got Blitzcrank. This champion with the magnetic blaster became a lot stronger than before. If you are a good Blitzcrank, now is your time to shine. Now is your time to shine. Blitzcrank is one of the only supports that can actually deal with a Yuumi. because you just have to hook the enemy that has the Yumi on top and you get a double kill. Blitzcrank hard counters Yumi. So if Yumi ever slips through the ban phase, which should never happen because she should be your first ban, but if she ever does, just pick Blitzcrank and hook both of them and kill both of them. You're gonna get like 2 flies in 1 hit. As we say in Dutch, 2 vliegen in 1 klap. Next up we got Nami. Incredibly powerful support, good healing, good CC, good teammate buffing, you know, she even buffs the movement speeds of her teammates. Overall, just a solid pick. After that, we got Sona, very much an underrated champion. Of course, the old Sona before the rework was a lot stronger, but even the new Sona is okay. The stunning is good, the slowing is good. She can build tank, so you're going to be very tanky. And she's just good. Like late game, she's going to make her entire team unkillable with all the shielding and everything. And she's just very powerful. Ornn is also like the hidden broken pick, really. Man, there's a fly on my screen and just keeps coming back. Just go away. Ornn is like the hidden broken pick. It's so disgusting. The thing about Ornn is he's very strong in lane. When he reaches level 5, his ultimate will surprise almost everyone. So like you're gonna surprise the enemy, catch them off guard, and they're just not gonna see it coming, how many knockups you have and how much damage you do. And of course, late game Ornn in team fights, incredibly powerful as well. Senna support, if you need damage, pick Senna support and start carrying the game. But even if you don't, you can go for like a semi-tank Senna build with an Iceborne Gauntlet and even a potential Emerald Twin Guard. Just get your stacks and you're gonna do damage regardless. Karma support, very powerful as well. You can go full AP Karma and do a ton of damage, and while also providing good value to your teammates as a support, because you can shield your teammates really well. Thresh is another champion that is very good with his hooks, with his frontlining. However, I'm going to tell you guys the only reason Thresh is a little bit lower now is because Thresh gets countered by most of the top tier ADCs. Corki counters Thresh, Kai'Sa counters Thresh, Ezreal counters Thresh. So that's why Thresh actually went down. Because very, very often you're going to be facing against an ADC you are going to be uncomfortable against. Morgana is good, just okay. Braum is also good, you know, nothing too special, it's just good. Lux got nerfed, but she's still quite good. See, the thing about Rakan is, he's probably stronger than I rated him, but my experience with Rakan players, they're always terrible. I don't know why, but like almost always the Rakan players are just terrible. Let me tell you when to pick Rakan, however. If the enemy has very squishy backline, including a Soraka, for example. If the enemy has Soraka, Rakan is the best pick ever. But like if the enemy has tanks and whatever, Rakan is going to be useless. So like the whole point of Rakan is you can go Zeke's Convergence, be tanky for your team, engage on the enemy, and just slow everyone. On top of all of your, you know, CC with your ultimate and your knockups and whatever, you can slow the whole team down with your Zeke's Convergence and just provide massive value. You can also go full AP Rakan. I don't suggest it, but it is playable. Galio support is good. Pyke support, if you're playing in lower elos, Pyke support is all the way here. But if you're playing in higher elos, I noticed Pyke support is significantly weaker. It's just not that useful because most people are gonna flash out of your ultimate and you cannot reset your ultimate. I really noticed that. Like most of the Pyke players are just not able to get triple kills, quadra kills. Of course, if you play in normal rank, Pyke is gonna be a lot stronger. But if you're against the best players, don't pick Pyke. This is also why I said in the beginning of this video, you know, take this list with a grain of salt because I'm only playing legendary queue right now. I'm not playing normal rank, so I'm basing this list on my experience, which is going to be, you know, the high elo gameplay. Jarvan support, broken support style is good. Don't pick Soraka in high elos. You're just going to get countered. Everyone is going to buy anti-heal. They're going to dive your ass. It's not playable. The only reason you should pick Soraka support is if the enemy has a lot of poking. So if they have a Ziggs, which is never going to get picked, Varus will get picked with this. If, you know, even Varus can counter Soraka if he goes for like burst damage rather than poke damage, but whatever. So like I just don't suggest Soraka. She may seem like a broken champion on the surface level, but she really isn't that good. Same goes for Swain, unfortunately. Like in normal ranks, Swain is really good as the support. You go hard steel, you're gonna stack like 1,000 stacks. You know, your passive, you're gonna have like 7k HP. Yeah, in legendary queue, that's not gonna happen. Against the good players, you're just not gonna be able to play Swain and get away with it. You're gonna get bullied like crazy. You're gonna get stunned like crazy. You're gonna get killed by the, you know, by the top tier ADCs, which is gonna be Ezreal, Kai'Sa, Corki. All of these ADCs are just gonna destroy you. So Unfortunately, Swain, Alistar as well, not that playable. Why is Leona in C tier, you're wondering? That's because of the introduction of Cleanse. Leona took the biggest hit in the game with the introduction of Cleanse, because the whole value that comes with playing Leona is landing your ultimate from like downtown. That's why your ult has super long range, and then engaging and perma CCing the enemy. Now, of course, if you ult the enemy and they cleanse it, your whole cooldown goes down. But Hell's Blitzcrank Hook can also get cleansed. Think about it. Blitzcrank Hook has like an 8-second cooldown late game. Leona ult has like a 30-40 second cooldown. Leona's ult is literally her all-in. The enemy can click on one button to avoid the all-in. Blitzcrank can just hook again. Think about that. So your entire kit gets countered by one cleanse. So that's the unfortunate reality of Leona. And before you have your ultimate again, cleanse is already going to be on like a 40-50 second cooldown. So it's going to come back very, very soon. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Again, reminder, if you want to sign up to the Player First Fitness program, transform your life, make a massive transformation in your body and whatnot. This is what I was able to achieve. I showed you all of the other pictures as well. Click on the link in the description. You're going to get 7-day free trial. You're going to get this page. Just fill in the information, sign up, and we'll get in touch. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye-bye.